Hello and welcome to Genius Yield's third monthly update. We made a lot of progress this month across all fronts, so I'm really happy to summarize those achievements and those announcements for you today. So let's jump right in. ISPO. So we've announced our ISPO round 2, and we will be adding 5 million extra gens token to our current ISPO. We will be keeping the same conversion rate from staked ADA to gens that we've had in round 1, and we will be running ISPO until we run out of those 5 million gens tokens, which should be around May 10th. So if you're already a ISPO delegators, then there is no action required. You will be automatically rolled into round 2 if you keep your stake in the pools. So thank you everyone for your continuous support and for making this ISPO such a big success. Next up, partnerships. We've made a number of significant partnerships this month with Genius Yield. The first one that I'm excited to talk about is the Cardano DeFi Alliance. So this is a non-profit organization that groups together top DeFi Cardano projects, Bluetooth developers, and infrastructure providers that will work and unite together to strengthen the Cardano blockchain as a whole. The goal is to create a robust and dynamic DeFi ecosystem that can really mature over time. And so the objective of the DeFi Alliance is to build tooling and industry standard that all DeFi projects can leverage to help them build on Cardano. And so Genius Yield is very grateful for joining this DeFi Alliance and is looking forward to collaborate and contribute. Next, we made a partnership with Vivuto, which is a great app that allows you to manage your subscriptions. So subscriptions such as Netflix, Spotify, and Amazon Prime that can be turned on and off at will. Under the hood, they are leveraging ADA and the Cardano blockchain to do that. And so part of the partnership means that Vivuto users will be able to farm and get gens tokens directly within the Vivuto app. So looking forward to see that integration come together. Next up, we've got the Mascot contest. Last month, we announced our Mascot contest for Genius Yield. And this month, we announced the top 6 winners of the first phase of the contest. In the second phase, we will turn each of those winners into a series of 10 NFTs that will be then sold through the Genius X platform in collaboration with our NFT partners, CardaHub and Martify. And the proceeds of those sales will be shared with the original creator of the art piece. So congratulations to all the winners, and I look forward to seeing them turned into NFTs. Another thing that was announced last month was the ambassador program. And since this announcement, we've had an overwhelming amount of applications through our website. I think probably in the hundreds for our ambassador program. So thank you everyone for applying. This month, we've announced the top 25 ambassadors that were selected and onboarded into the team. So congratulations. And those ambassadors are here to help promote Genius Yield and help us get more exposure across different medium. And so they've already contributed in creating video content, blog content, even helping translating some of our material, and even providing stake pool support. So congratulations to all of you ambassadors and welcome to the Genius Yield family. Next up, we have the NFT program, which is another big announcement we made this month. This is a new program that outlines the additional benefit that comes with our NFT, ISPO NFTs, as well as a new type of NFT that we're releasing. With regards to our ISPO NFTs, on top of getting your regular ISPO bonuses, your NFTs will be able to unlock and give you early access to our Gen staking program, which will allow you to get yield on your gens as they vest. The other NFT we're introducing is called the Genius NFT, and this is a limited edition NFT that will allow you to further boost your gen staking rewards over a limited period of time, around 2 to 5%. And then just as a reminder, the Gen staking program is its main benefit is really to redistribute 20% of all the platform profits back to the Gen stakers. And so these are profits both for the Genius DEX as well as the yield optimizer. 20% of those will be redistributed to the Gen stakers through the staking program. And lastly, Genius Yield team has been also involved on social media. We've been creating this new Genius Dex YouTube series, which is a YouTube series that aims at breaking down the different concepts and functionalities behind the unique features of our DEX. We've released 3 videos already, one that introduces the Genius DEX, one that talks about smart swaps, and another one about concentrated liquidity. And we've got many more coming through. So if you're more of a visual learner or you just want to learn more about what differentiates the Genius DEX and some of the key concepts behind its features, then I invite you to check out those videos. Our team has also been involved in a couple of Twitter spaces. The first one hosted by Meld and the second one hosted by Real Talk. So participating in those Twitter spaces is a great way for you to get to know the Genius team members a bit better and get to ask us questions directly and learn more about the product in depth. So recordings of those Twitter spaces would be available in the description below.
Hello everyone and welcome to this month's technical demo. This time I want to show how to create a liquidity position and how to then later make use of that to facilitate a swap. So first we must decide on the token pair. So in this demo there are only 2 available tokens, ADA and GENS, whereas in last month's demo ADA is not real ADA but some test token that we're using. So let's create a liquidity position for this pair, ADA and GENS. And we see here how much is available in the wallet that's currently connected. So I have a bit more than 9,000 ADA and a bit more than 9,000 GENS. So let's say I want to put 5,000 of each of the tokens into this liquidity position. So I can enter this here. And now I must decide on a price. So how much GENS for 1 ADA? So this current price, of course, is just some hard-coded value at the moment. But let's say we want for our liquidity position a price of 0.5. So 0.5 GENS for 1 ADA or equivalently 2 ADA for 1 GENS. Then we can push the preview button and we see everything again. So we want to deposit 5,000 ADA, 5,000 GENS. This current price we can ignore. That's just now for demo purposes hard-coded. And we set a price of 0.5 GENS per ADA. The fee, I think, is also just hard-coded at the moment. Let me confirm. Then the NAMI wallet plugin pops up and asks us to sign this transaction. If we like, we can inspect it. So in particular, if we check assets here, we see that we will spend 5,000 GENS and 5,000 ADA. There's another token that's there for technical reasons. That's a freshly minted NFT that's used to uniquely identify this liquidity position. So once we're happy with that, we can sign, enter our spending password, confirm, and we get a confirmation. And after a couple of seconds, we see the newly created liquidity position show up here in this list of liquidity positions. So here again, we see 5,000 ADA, 5,000 GENS, a price of 0.5 GENS per ADA, and the creation date. So now this liquidity position is available for swaps, to facilitate swaps, to make it easier to fill orders. In last month's demo, we saw how orders can be filled with each other. So if you have two orders that fit together. One person offering the one token, asking payment in the other token, and then another offer with the roles of the tokens reversed and the amounts fit together, then it's also possible to fill orders directly with each other. But in the normal case, there won't be such convenient order pairs, so liquidity positions make it much easier to fill as many orders as possible. So now that we have this liquidity position, it will be possible to swap in both directions using this position. So exchanging ADA for gens and the other way around. So let's look at that next. I have several wallets configured here. At the moment I was using a wallet called NAMI2. So let me switch to a wallet NAMI3. And if we look here, we see we do have some ADA, but no gens. So let's say we now want to exchange some of these ADA for gens using the liquidity position that NAMI2 just created. So let's go to swap. This is familiar from last month's demo. And I want to buy gens for my ADA. So this is already the right way around. And let's say, I have 500 ADA, the price is 2 ADA per gen, so I can buy at most roughly 250. So let's say I want to buy 200 gens. Now I must set the price in ADA. The liquidity position specifies 2, but liquidity providers also get some fees for their service of providing liquidity. That's why liquidity providers are interested in setting up these liquidity positions. Eventually, those fees will be freely configurable, but for the moment, we have hard-coded them to 0.1%. So I can't use a price of 2 ADA, I must add a bit. So I only would need to add 0.1%, but let's say 2.1 just to make it simple. And I place the order. I can check again. So I want to buy 200 gen, the price of 2.1 ADA. So that means I have to pay 420 ADA. I confirm. Nami wallet asks me to sign, so let's do this. Okay. And we see the order appear here in our list of orders. After a while, the order disappears. And if we check in the wallet, we see we indeed now have 200 gens, the gens we bought, and we only have 80 ADA left. We started with 500, so we paid 420, the price specified. Now let me switch back to NAMI2 to see the effect this swap had on our liquidity position. Let's switch back to the pool view and select this token pair again. So we see the liquidity position has changed. It used to be 5,000 ADA and 5,000 gens each. Now it's 5,401 ADA and 4,800 gens. So why these numbers? Well, we wanted to buy 200 gens. The price would be 400 ADA, but we have this 0.1% fee for the liquidity provider. So on 400 ADA, that would be 0.4 ADA, but we always round up in favor of the liquidity provider. So it's 1 ADA. Of course, 1 ADA in reality is quite a lot. But as I mentioned in the beginning, these are just test tokens. So we can only use whole tokens. So in this case, the smallest unit is one of these test ADA. But of course, in reality, the smallest unit would be 1 Loveless. So the fee wouldn't be rounded to a full ADA, but instead just to 400,000 Loveless in this example. So therefore, we have to pay 401 ADA to get 200 gens out. So 401 ADA are added, 200 gens are taken out. The order offered 420 ADA. So what happens to the remaining 19 ADA? Well, they go to the bot, the process that's running in the background permanently scanning the blockchain for orders and liquidity positions and trying to match them up. So the bot saw this opportunity to make a trade, saw the order, saw matching liquidity position, matched the two up, and kept the change, basically, the excess. In this example, that was, of course, quite high, but in a realistic example, I would have chosen a lower price than 2.1. And then, of course, the bot also wouldn't have made that much profit. So to summarize, we saw that it is now possible to use the Genius Yield UI to create liquidity positions for token pairs and then use those liquidity positions to fill orders.
So that's it for the demo. We hope you enjoyed it. So in this demonstration, we've shown how users can place concentrated liquidity in our pools, which leads to higher capital efficiency and higher potential for rewards. In this version of the UI, we've shown how users can place liquidity at specific price points. And in a future version of the UI, we will demonstrate also how a liquidity provider can place liquidity on a range of prices in order to capture more trades and in turn capture more rewards. That's it for today. So as you can see, another busy month here at Genius Yield. Our main core objective remains the Genius DEX. We are actively pushing through the development with our developing team. And as always, if you want to keep a closer look on our progress and never miss another announcement, please follow us on our social media, such as Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Thank you very much for joining me on this monthly update, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.